Hi everyone, this is Sophia from the Unfair Advantage, and we have a really special guest today, Rakesh, and he's from UC San Diego. I know you all have been requesting for a student from that school to come in, so we got you one. So, Rakesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me here, first of all. Hey everyone, my name is Rakesh. I am a second year at UCSD right now. I'm majoring in human biology, and my goal is to try to be a doctor. So super excited and want to see how far I can take it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, the major goal of this call is for you to break down your high school journey. Like, what kind of student were you? What did you do
Mhm.
for extracurriculars? And how was the college admissions process like for you?
Okay, so entering into high school, I was what they call a nerd. I My social life was not great, so it was really difficult for me to join clubs. I mean, the clubs I joined were mostly academic based, like one of them being academic league or Olympiad. And it was difficult at first because the only person I knew was my brother, and um, it was really hard because by getting to know more people, you actually can learn a lot more things. So at first, it was definitely very difficult, and over time, thanks to a couple friends I made in orchestra, I was able to open up a little bit more, and this not just gave me a more of a social life, it also like helped me learn new things, see things in a much newer way, be able to appreciate things in a newer light, if you know what I mean. But yeah, some of the extracurriculars I was doing were academic league was something that I was really passionate about. Just because it's a quiz bowl competition type of thing, and I'm a I guess I'm a very competitive person. I like being able to use my academic knowledge in a very fun way, and that's why it was something that really interested me, and it's something that I stuck with for all 4 years of my high school. And another thing was orchestra. Orchestra was I played violin. I wasn't the best, but I can say that it really helped. It was more of like a break class to me because for all the AP classes and honors classes and all those weighted classes, it was a good break. Playing music and listening to music is always something that's relaxing, at least for me. So it was definitely something that I liked. And we also went on amazing trips like to Washington, D.C., where we performed at the Kennedy Center, and to New York City as well, where we performed at Carnegie Hall. So yeah, it had its good moments as well. So definitely, it's orchestra was another important hallmark of my high school career. Even though it was sometimes pretty hard. After those two, I'd say my other extracurriculars I've probably done were I've volunteered at um, a teaching center. I've worked at Cambridge. It's called Cambridge Teaching Center, I believe. It's been a while since I've been there, but yeah, it was owned by a friend of mine's dad, so it was just a place where little kids were tutored, and they were taught math, and yeah, math, mostly math, and it was some I would go over there on the weekends and participate, help them out. Mostly it was like simple. It was not complicated math as well. It was like max algebra or geometry. So it wasn't something that I had to put my mind into a lot and think about a lot. So it was relaxing in that way. Um, and I've also worked at Kumon before that. It not for very long because other things also came up in the way, and I guess I had to balance my schedule out, so it didn't work. So, but I still appreciated the time there because it taught me tutoring, which is something that still do on my own time. I still tutor children with math, and it's something that helped me because it showed like with the guidance of other members of the staff, I was able to learn better techniques in teaching. Right now, I'm actually an instructional assistant for one of the classes as well. So, uh, like that experience was definitely a big stepping stone to coming to where I am right now. And finally, I'm not always like it's not just the education. I also did sports. I did play tennis. I've been in varsity for my entire high school career. Um, it we weren't always like winning team, but the hard work and putting in the effort with the guys was definitely worth it. It was something that um, once again, just like orchestra, it was like a good stress reliever. It was something that I looked forward to at the end of the day, going to practice, hitting the balls on to the wall, practicing rallies, these types of things. They were just something that I thought, well, it's after a tough day, I can just hang out with my friends and do something for fun, but also be productive about it because we were training for league. We won league once, and we also qualified for CIF, I think, twice. So yeah, that was definitely those were like some of my best extracurricular experiences. Um, Obviously, that it's not something that like everyone exactly can do, but finding those things that really make you enjoy yourselves, I think is the best thing. Not just looking for academic ones, but also looking for social ones, things that make you enjoy what you're doing, relax, whatever. But yeah, just I think that's something that I would keep in mind if I were a high school, if I could tell myself something as a high school student. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to know. So, how did you really manage your time with all your extracurriculars?
Um, Mostly, I'm not the type of guy to write it down on a calendar or uh, create calendars because I don't know, I'm too lazy to do that. But it's mostly like for me it was mostly like a mental calendar. I just think about the things. I have like this to-do list in my head. Uh, I mean sometimes there are consequences I forget that they're due, but most of the time I've trained myself to remember these things. And I go ahead with whatever's like I prioritize them based on importance. If it's academic, like the grading weight. For example, if it's like if there's a homework that's due soon versus an exam that's also due the next day, I probably prioritize the exam because I mean I can lose 10 points, but I don't want to lose 100 points. But yeah, it's definitely more of like um, being able to like think ahead. So after I leave school, it's usually the first thing I do. I calculate number of hours when I will most likely sleep. On average, I usually sleep at like I used to sleep at 11 p.m. to like 12:30. Sometimes it went so far as to like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. because there were certain classes that pushed me to my limit. But um yeah, I usually like keep that calculated out and try to think about all the assignments I have, calculate, like give a rough estimate as to how long each takes. Keep in mind, I also keep in mind like other things that I might have to do, like things that for home, like getting stuff for my parents, or maybe eating dinner with them, or like I also keep those in mind to calculate, and just making sure that I have enough time. If I don't, I probably will try to like drop other things that are not as required. Like for example, if there are so many things coming up, I might either like not cut a shift, but more like ask to like push a shift for a later day, or I might just like not do it as long for that time for that day. Excuse me. But mostly being able to like calculate these things, I think was important for me to maintain like a steady mental state as well as getting things done and being able to finish them on time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome that you could keep a mental note. I'm the type of person that likes to write down everything. So going back to your
Uh,
senior year, when you do like the college admission process, how was it like for you? Was it stressful and like how many colleges did you apply to?
um, yeah, senior year was, in a way, I am a little bit grateful that I worked really hard during my second and third years, sophomore and junior year, because um, senior year felt a lot easier, because the amount of work was not as high, and it wasn't, how do I describe it? It wasn't at the same, like, because I took most of the harder classes during that time, so there weren't really that many hard classes left. So it didn't feel as difficult. However, when the college admissions process came, it was always there was like a low level of anxiety. It wasn't something that like popped up and like I would start freaking out about or have mental breakdowns about, but it was just something that was in the back of my mind and con constantly bugging me. Like, would I get into this place? Would I really get into my dream college? I did not get into my dream college, um, but those questions were always popping up. What if I got into my dream college? And yeah, so I wanted to work hard for it. I'm not the strongest writer. That I'm pretty sure any of my friends could say. They'll probably just say you're terrible at writing. But it was something I was worried about because writing is key in those college essays, and if you can't write a solid personal statement, the chances of you getting, no matter how qualified you are pretty tiny. So I think that that was a part that really stressed me out as a senior, and I I could have enjoyed more of my time, but I started working on those essays since like the summer of junior year, just because I was so scared. I also have a brother who also goes to UCSD, and he was also having. I saw him go through that same stress, so I wanted to like start earlier, but it didn't really make much of a difference in my case. I still went to the same college, and it's not like I'm not having a good time here, but I wish I went to like college of my dream. Um, but yeah, definitely, it's really stressful, especially if you're not like strong at writing. If you're strong at writing, it's not. I don't want to say like just slack it off or something, but um, it's easier. It's definitely easier because um, I'm not like trying to undermine anybody in their applications, but there were a lot of people who let's say they didn't have like the best of the best, but they wrote an amazing personal essay and they got into one of the best colleges. So definitely like how well you write, and I think that if you're not a good writer, that's definitely something that people could work on, or um, they should at least start earlier, reach out to more people to edit their essays. For my essays, asked a couple friends as well as my teachers to look through my essays because I was obviously stressed about it. I I didn't know how I wasn't confident in the essays that I wrote, and obviously those essays have to be very personal. You just can't make that stuff up because I'm pretty sure they can tell if you made it up or not. So yeah, it was definitely very stressful, but not at the intensity. It was low intensity, but for a very long time. So yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think like writing is also a really big part in essays because that's the way that you could really show who you are. So,
hmm
my other question is about your major. So, I see that you're a human biology major. When did you know you
hmm
wanted to go in that field, and when did you know you wanted to become a doctor?
Um, this is actually funny because um, at first I wanted to be a computer scientist, somewhere in the computer science field, but I hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't get it. I just didn't want it. But it was a really successful career, and it was usually like a very demanding job. So my parents really encouraged that field, but I was trying to escape it. So one day I just thought about it, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm good. I guess I'm decent at biology, and I'm okay at chemistry. So I thought, why don't I just go into the medical field? Uh, well, that was my original motivation to escape from the computer science. But over time, after working at different places and working with different people, and working at labs, I've realized that, you know, the, the major and the potential goal of being a doctor is definitely worth it. It takes a long time, but the what you do in the path is very it brings so much like happiness, satisfaction because um obviously the learning part can be a little tiring, stressing, sometimes even boring, but being able to use that knowledge to save a person's life, or if not to that extent, at least helping them get better, um, giving them the confidence, being there for them while they being like that educated person who can help them, who the patients can trust, is something that I really saw through like my family who has like a couple doctors in them, and through like other means, like through my volunteering or other experiences, outside experiences. Um, and I thought this is actually really really enlightening, and I really like that uh, role, and I really wanted to play that role in those people's lives. So I think that's what really drove me. I mean, honestly, I don't care how much I earn. Like I'm pretty sure I'll have a decent life. So it's mostly like the service and the satisfaction I you gain from that service that wanted me to like continue with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I also agree with your point about how like passion is really the main driver of what you want to be, and not everyone knows at a really young age. You really have to discover
Yeah.
that for yourself. Yeah. My last question before we get on with the questions in the comments is what is your life like at UC San Diego? Like how is it living there or being a part of that college?
I mean, right now it's just it's COVID, so I can't really say much about that. It's mostly um I don't want to say dead, but you don't really see a lot of people. But with the amount of interaction I do uh, actually pursue, I think it's definitely good. It helps you like get your it definitely helps get your what do you say? I'm sorry, I just sorry. Um, with like when I did go on campus during 29 that the year 2019, I did have like people say it's UC like it's a really dead school, but there are actually like a lot of people who are intelligent, and there are a lot of people who are just as smart as you are, and they actually help push you to your goals. Um, and it's not that bad. The location is great too. If you ever want to like go hang out with your friends at the beach or something, it's literally like a walk away. Um, and I think it's also like it's definitely the professors are also there. The professors are always like they usually respond. They're really interactive sometimes. Well, obviously there's always going to be like some bad apples in the bunch, I guess. But there are some who are like pretty bad. They don't really care about the students, but most of them are pretty good. If you ask them questions in like if you're passionate about something and their subject and you ask them, they will actually find the time to talk to you and like, get to know you and answer your questions as well. So the professors are great. They're definitely well educated, um, and people are nice as well. It's a lot of people are very goal oriented there. So meeting those people who have similar interests as you is pretty. It's definitely you can definitely meet people with like similar interests. So it's definitely a good time there. It's been a good time, and although I wish I had another couple years without COVID there, like in-person interactions with other people. I guess I don't, but
Yeah.
um, I definitely do miss those interactions, and they're definitely positive. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That like even though you don't have to go in campus for it, you still find interactions with other people. So let's
Hmm.
get on with the student comments. So we have a comment from Brandon. He said, "How did you cope with not getting into your dream school?"
Um, well, at first I was disappointed, but maybe I realized like maybe my um I can like the college that you go to does not really matter. It's about what you do in that college that really matters. And so obviously for like maybe I guess I think like 2 days to a week, I was not really happy, I guess. I was pretty upset. I was not I wish I had done better. But after that I just realized, well, it's not UC San Diego is not that bad of a school, and you can definitely do so much from being there, especially it's local. Like I lived in San Diego and I went to a San Diego school, so it's not I don't even have to pay as much money there. So um, I can just drive from home whenever I want. So it was definitely like something that I was at first upset with. Obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone would be upset with not getting into what they really wanted to go to, but it's not about where you go. It's just about what you do there. That really does matter. And maybe you never know if you want to go for professional school, you could always like reapply to your dream school and maybe get in at that.
Yeah, we have like 5 more minutes left, so we're gonna do a speed round of
Okay.
questions since we have a lot. So the next one is
Okay.
from JP. Is pre-med more competitive or collaborative?
Um, what do you mean by collaborative? Like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, never mind. I think I
Like
understand.
working with people?
Um, yeah. It's a bit of both. Obviously, like if working with other people who are also pre-med is makes you learn a lot more, but it depends on how you take it. I mean, if you go in with a competitive way, you could still do well because you want to be the best. But if you go in collaborative, you can be just as well because obviously you're learning a lot of new things from other people as well. So I personally took it I did a mix. I was more of a mix. There were some parts where I'm competitive, and there are some parts where try to be more collaborative. So, yeah.
Okay. Have a great day says, what would you recommend we do if we're just starting to look into colleges?
Definitely look at like not just what kind of classes they offer. I mean, I'm not sure if you know what major you want to go for, but try to look for what you want to do. If you're not sure about what you want to do yet, that's probably more important. Like, you should probably think about even if you're not sure, think about something you'd want to start going to, and once you go into college, you can change it if you want. But if you as for the colleges, you should probably look at what classes they offer, and if there are classes that are specifically interesting for you, and if you want to really as well if you want to go into that as well as like um, the physical location is also some of it because the environment is obviously important. You want to see what kind of people go there. Uh, is it like is it like too dull for you, or is it too party like for you? Or yeah, it depends on your personality as well, so you want to keep that in mind as well because talking with people is important in college.
Okay, and Randy Ashi says, "Hi, I applied to UCSD. My GPA is on the lower end on like 3.4, but I have a significant upward trend, and UCSD requested additional information from me, including my senior grades. Does that mean I have a chance?"
uh I'm not on the admissions council, so I can't say for sure, but I mean, if seeing that you have had an upward trend is something that's positive, and they'll probably see that you're trying to improve yourself, you're trying to grow. So I'm pretty sure that does mean you have a better chance, but I can't for sure say that if you're gonna get in or not and stuff because I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
My
it's definitely
mentor
good that you're improving.
Yeah.
Hmm?
My mentor, Coach Tony, he's actually he was a college admissions reader, so he could probably help you more on that, Randy, because he probably knows more about the UC applications. And so my last question will come from me. So we have a community that
Uh-huh.
helps students with like the financial success, college admissions, and career aspirations. And my question for
Mhm.
you is what is one tip that you would give to students that would give them the unfair advantage to know at the time right now?
Um, Sorry, could you repeat that question? I didn't get that.
Yeah. One tip that you would give to students that will be giving them like an unfair advantage to know at such a young age.
Oh, okay.
Any kind of advice. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Well, if we're talking like young age, definitely I would probably tell people like after growing up and going through all this, I'd say if you have like a passion or a talent or something, I really like if I had one, I would really hone in on that and make myself the best out of that because colleges really love to see if you're like passionate about one thing and how far you go into that one thing is really like it's really important because they can see that you're a directed person, like you have a direction in life and you're going there, and something that's positive. And if it's more of like a recent young as in like high school student, I'd probably say um, just focus on the essays, your writing skills. Focus on the writing skills. Writing is the most important thing. Obviously, other subjects and other grades are important as well, but as long as you can write a solid essay, like you'll go places. Like that's for sure. So yeah.
Yeah. With that, thank you so much for your time. And you have like 30 seconds to plug your socials and promote yourself.
Okay. Um. Hi guys. So my Facebook is just my Facebook is just my name. You can look it up. And it'll be a picture of me wearing a suit, so that's me. My Instagram is at Rakesh Namani, my name. Um, RakeshNemmani. And my Snap is at Rakesh Namani, same thing. RakeshNemmani. So yeah,
Okay,
nice to
thank
meet
you
you
so
guys.
much. Thank you.
Yeah.
And for the people joining, I'll see you guys in the next video.